Hello, members of the drama club at Arbor Glen. Professor Charlie is here, and I hope this works. We'll see. Let me take roll first. Bunny, no, Bunny will be late. Joan, Margot, Catherine with a C, Beverly, Mary Beth, Tilly, Maggie, and Gloria. I hope you all can make it, or that you can have this filmed to you at a time when you can watch it. We always start with what's funny, and Mary Beth tells us a joke, or I do endless scenes about God and angels that no one laughs at. But I brought a joke today. I went online, and this is not a virus joke. I refrain from those. Let me read it. An elderly lady was well known for her faith and for her boldness in talking about it. She would stand on her front porch and shout, "Praise the Lord!" Next to her lived an atheist who would get so angry at her proclamations, he would shout, "There ain't no Lord." Hard times set in on the lady, and she prayed for God to send her some assistance. She stood on her porch and shouted, "Praise the Lord God, I need food. I'm having a hard time. Please, Lord, send me some groceries." The next morning, the lady went out on her porch and noted a large bag of groceries and shouted, "Praise the Lord." The neighbor jumped from behind a bush and said, "Aha! I told you there was no Lord. I bought those groceries. God didn't." The lady started jumping up and down and clapping her hands and said, "Praise the Lord. He not only sent me groceries, but he made the devil pay for them. Praise the Lord." End of the joke. Now, you each have a worksheet in front of you, and I don't want you to do this now. I want you to do it at the end of class. It says number 2, what's funny in your world? A joke, a story. Is it hard to laugh when you're by yourself? Try. Write it here, but do that later at the end of class. We have more to do now. I visited with Grandma by phone. I brought up once again how bored I was. Grandma doesn't like to hear when people are bored. Once again, she had lots of ideas on how to deal with that, even though we are all in quarantine. Now, I've given you an alphabet sheet that looks something like this. See the alphabet sheet? You all should have one of those alphabet sheets. And what I want you to do with the alphabet sheet, again, after class, is to sit down and fill in as many of the A to Z's as you can with ways of not being bored. You might say B, Bunny bakes bread to keep from getting bored. You might go to Z and put Z, like the sound of sleeping. They always show someone sleeping and going Z. I've never heard anyone going Z when they sleep, but that's the way that writers or artists show sleeping. So I don't care what you put down. Be creative. If you're stuck, just make something silly up. But do that again. That's after the class is over and you're kind of on your own, and fill it all in. And then, I don't know, we'll figure out a way to get it or share it with me. I'll think about that as I'm doing the class now. Let's jump to number 4. I'm going to tell you a story And then on the back of the sheet that you're looking at, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to write a story of your own, or just make notes so you don't forget the story. Because if you and I can find a way to have contact, I want to see if maybe you can tell me that story, either by writing it down and having Amber send it to me, or we talk on the phone, or I don't know. We'll figure that out later. But I want you to write a story. But it's going to be on the same themes as the story I read to you. This is a story from my real life. And I've told this story a lot in my life, but I never wrote it down till now. And I'll read it to you. It's called The May Basket. When I was in kindergarten 70 years ago, I made my mother a May basket. I had not heard of May Day or May baskets before kindergarten. My teacher, Mrs. Bergman, told us that you fill your May basket with pretty flowers, hang it on the door handle of someone you love a lot, ring the doorbell, and hide. Then you watch them have a wonderful surprise when they open the door and find the May basket. The flowers in my May basket were made of colored Kleenex with pipe cleaner stems. The basket was made of construction paper stuck together with school paste. Knowing me, I had a lot of school paste left on my hands. I walked home with Bobby Newman after school, and we picked some real flowers as we walked, tulips and daffodils from neighbors' yards, to make our baskets even prettier. We actually did that. Bobby's house was first. He didn't hide. He just rang the bell, stood on the porch with the basket held out in front of him. When his mom opened the door, he yelled, "Happy May Day," like he was trick-or-treating and yelling trick or treat. His mom hugged him and they went inside. He had no sense of drama. I was going to do it right. I wanted to hide and see my mom's face when she saw this beautiful basket. Then I would jump out from my hiding place and she would be so happy. Anyway, I got home and walked up to the front steps. The mail was still in the mailbox. Very quietly, I hung the May basket on the handle of the screen door. I listened. Nothing, not a sound. I rang the doorbell, ran down the stairs to hide behind the bushes. Inside the house, my dog, Lucky, had sprung into action as home defender, running to the front door and barking ferociously. He was a little bitty dog. I waited. Lucky kept barking. It was taking a long time for my mom to get to the door. Then the front door opened. I held my breath. My mom stood in the doorway, wiping her hands on her apron. She looked surprised that nobody was on the front porch. From my hiding place, I tried to wish her to look down through the screen door to see the May basket. She didn't. A small frown formed across her mouth. She shooed Lucky away from the door and closed it. What to do? Ring the doorbell again and hold out the basket like Bobby Newman? It was not looking nearly so grand hanging on the door in rejection, that May basket. But I was determined. I rearranged the basket. I flopped up the flowers and tried to make it more visible this time. I rang the bell and ran to hide. Lucky barked, but this time the door opened fast. My mom rushed out through the screen door, down the steps, grabbed my arm and pulled me out of my hiding place in the bushes. "I hope you had a good reason for ringing the doorbell and making me come upstairs to find you hiding in the bushes. Was that funny to you?" said my mom. I was crushed. It wasn't funny. I wanted to cry. But mostly I wanted to wreck that May basket. I pulled away from my mom and grabbed the May basket off the screen door while it stood stubbornly hung. "I made this for you," I yelled as I tore it up and let it fall on the front porch. I hated that look she got on her face, that, "Oh, I'm such a bad parent" look that I have seen in the mirror too often through the years. I don't remember what happened next. That's all I can remember of the story. I'm sure she hugged me and we both cried and it got better, but there's a message for me in that story, or I wouldn't carry it around with me. Maybe it's protect your heart. Don't feel too much. You'll get hurt, disappointed. But that's not it. My heart still leads and I follow behind. More likely the message is something like, when you're hurting, don't be so quick to wreck the May basket. Okay, now as I said, I'm going to want you, and I've crumpled up the May basket with my notes on it, to write your own story. You can write it anywhere. You can write it on the back of your hand. You can write it on the back of that paper that has the outline of this. Some notes about a story from a time in your childhood or any time when you were angry or hurt or disappointed and you didn't handle it well. Or maybe you handled it brilliantly and got over it. Just share it and we'll find a way to share. Now, we're going to sing our goodbye song and then you're going to get to work. Our goodbye song, Show Me the Way to Go Home. Sing with me. Show me the way to go home. I'm tired and I want to go to bed. Had a little drink about an hour ago and it went right to my head. Wherever I may roam, on land or sea or foam, you will always hear me a-singing this song. Show me the way to go home. Now, if you want us to be in touch, you can do it a couple of ways. You can write down on a piece of paper, send this to Charlie Helfert, or send this to Professor Charlie, or whatever you want to call me. And you can put your name and your phone number, and if you give me your phone number, a time when is normally a good time to call you. Or you can, if you have an email address, put for Professor Charlie and put your email address on it so I can email you. Or if you have something weird like a Facebook page, and we could be Facebook friends and I could chat with you that way and you could share stories, etc. You could give me your Facebook name. Does that all make sense or is this stupid? That's all. You get that to Amber, your little note for Charlie Helfert, and if you don't want me to call you, email you, or send you a Facebook message at all, then just don't send anything to Amber with Charlie Helfert's name on it. I'm going to try to do something like this every Monday at 11. I don't know what time she's getting this to you. If it's not raining, on Monday at noon, 12 noon, look out your window and I'm going to be riding my bicycle round and round and round your building about 3 times and you can go bang, 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 bang on your window and I'll wave at you. Or not. Whatever suits you. You guys live your own life and do your own things just like regular. This has been fun for me. Boy, I hope I can send it. Bye-bye.